Check how many subscribers I have on my YouTube channel right now. I recorded this when I had 61 subscribers on June 7, 2021. So if you're watching this and the sub count is still very low, then you should close this video because that means I have no idea what I'm talking about. But if my sub count is much higher than 61, then you're in for a treat because I'm going to teach you exactly how the YouTube algorithm works and how I managed to go from 61 subs to what you see now. This is the YouTube algorithm. Actually, it probably looks more like this. I hear YouTubers every day saying the algorithm is unfair. I've got news for you. The reason you don't get views is not because the algorithm is unfair, it's because your content sucks. Now, before you get mad, get happy because this is the video that's going to clear up exactly how the algorithm works, and that's going to change everything. First, I'm going to show you an insider look on the analytics of this video with 15 million views that we worked on because these are the best analytics I've ever seen when it comes to explaining how the YouTube algorithm works. You can pause the video here if you don't know what impressions, CTR, and watch time mean because I'm going to be using these terms a lot. If I had to boil down how the YouTube algorithm works in one sentence, it would be that the algorithm's goal is to give impressions to videos that do the best job at converting those impressions into watch time. Simply put, if the algorithm fills this funnel with impressions, will they make it all the way down? The answer is yes, then the algorithm will promote this video. So if you clicked on this video just to figure out quickly how the algorithm works, then there you go, and you're free to go now. Thanks for watching. Since you're still here, let's dive deeper into how the algorithm achieves this. One of the fundamental methods that the YouTube algorithm uses to determine if a video is worth giving impressions to is trickle experiments. Trickle experiments are mini experiments that the algorithm performs to test whether a video is worthy of being given more impressions in browse features, suggested, search terms, etc. Today, this video has over 15 million views. The video was posted on July 5, 2017. For months, the video barely got any views. It was being trickle tested by the YouTube algorithm to determine if it's a video worth promoting or not. The algorithm is a robot, so it relies on video performance in order to gauge if a video is good or not. This range of time was the first trickle experiment. At this point, the algorithm is gathering data on whether this video sucks or if it's worth promoting. And keep in mind, when I say sucks, I don't mean it objectively. Remember, the algorithm's goal is to give impressions to videos that do the best job at converting those impressions into watch time. So when I say it sucks, I mean that the video in question is not doing a good job converting impressions into watch time. If important metrics like CTR and watch time are impressive during the first trickle experiment, then the algorithm will upgrade the promotion of the video to the next level to run the second trickle experiment. If those metrics were bad, then this video would have stopped receiving impressions and it would have eventually been a dead video. You can see at this point, the views go up slightly. This is no accident. It's a result of the algorithm giving this video more impressions and seeing what happens. If the CTR or watch time fell during this point, then this video would have been downgraded back to the first trickle experiment. But in this case, the video kept the same good metrics and the algorithm is thinking, okay, this might be a good video that's worth promoting. This is the exact point where the third trickle experiment was triggered. January 15, 2018. The views jumped from 163 the day before to 816 the next day. So what happened on January 15? Well, if we go to click-through rate, the highest click-through rate this video ever achieved in a day was January 15. This is no coincidence. This strong of a CTR triggered the algorithm to take this video to the third trickle experiment. This video started receiving more impressions after it did so well on January 15. The third trickle experiment lasted for about 2 weeks, and on February 1st, the algorithm decided this video was the real deal and that it needs to be promoted. This is the viral stage. The impressions, and therefore views, skyrocketed. At this point, the video has proved itself to be a good video from the algorithm's perspective. So as long as it maintains similar metrics, it'll continue to be given those impressions. It no longer needs to exceed expectations. It just needs to maintain them. This is how the algorithm tests content. A video doesn't just instantly go viral. It's not something that's just based on luck. Rather, it advances through several trickle experiments. If it succeeds, it'll continue to the next one. During these experiments, the algorithm is mainly looking at if the watch time and CTR hold up as the impressions are increased. A video can only advance to the next stage if it succeeds in its current stage. If it fails, then the algorithm keeps the video at the same stage or downgrades it. This process is constantly repeating for every video on the platform for the purpose of delivering the very best content to viewers. That's why anyone who says the algorithm sucks is being delusional. Of course, it's not going to instantly identify an amazing video without any metrics. It's not built in that way, so it's not really supposed to. The algorithm takes time because it relies on real-time feedback from real viewers. So if you've made a good video, then it takes time for the algorithm to notice. Remember, the video we just looked at took around 6 months to gain real traction. and then it hit 15 million views. In those 6 months, the video had like 1,000 views, even though the video would eventually go on to get 15 million views. The video didn't change. Simply, the algorithm gained enough data to give it the impressions that it deserved. What can we learn from this? Patience. Blowing up on YouTube is primarily about making amazing videos that are worth being given impressions by the algorithm. But after you've done that, you've got to be patient. So even if you think you've made a really good video, it could take months for the algorithm to notice. And that's fine. So the truth is, the algorithm does work. In fact, it works really well. And that's why you aren't getting views. This might be tough news for you as a YouTuber, but the faster we face reality, the faster we can actually become successful. So step number 1 is to just accept that your content could be better, because that realization now opens your mind to improvement, which helps you get to your ultimate goal of having a successful YouTube channel. Some people also say that the algorithm is built in a way that harms smaller channels. Wrong. If you have a giant channel and you post videos that don't satisfy the algorithm in the way we just discussed, then you'd have a dead channel. There's plenty of those around. And having a big channel doesn't mean anything anymore. It just means that the algorithm can finish those trickle experiments faster, since they already have an audience of which to test on. So if you're a small YouTuber, you're actually in a better position, since you have more freedom to experiment with what works. If you're a big channel, you already have an audience that is pressuring you to create what you've always created. So a lot of times, big creators become scared to experiment with new things. Embrace the fact that you're a small channel, because there's more advantages that come with that than disadvantages. One of the most important things about the YouTube algorithm is that it doesn't find viewers for each video. It finds videos for each viewer. There's 2 reasons your videos aren't doing well. The first reason is that the viewers your videos are targeting are already being satisfied by other bigger, more established channels. The second reason, and probably more likely reason, is that your videos aren't appealing to any type of audience. They won't get promoted by the algorithm if they don't appeal to anyone. You can't just make videos and cross your fingers that there's an audience for them. Lots of people do that, and sometimes it works, but that's leaving it up to luck, and I don't like leaving anything up to luck. The solution to these 2 problems is to sharpen your approach to YouTube. The proper way to approach YouTube is to understand exactly who you're making videos for first, then make your videos. This approach makes creating content simple. Every time you have a decision to make, say when you're trying to create a title or a thumbnail, you can always bring it back to who you're making videos for and what they would respond to. Having said all that, the YouTube algorithm operates on key metrics like I said earlier. Let's take it a step further. CTR is relatively easy to measure. YouTube will track CTR based on impression categories like browse features, YouTube search, suggested videos, etc. If something does well in a category, then it'll promote it more. Pretty simple. Looking at these numbers, we can comprehend them and know when a thumbnail or title is good or bad relatively quickly. If a video has 1% CTR, then it's most likely a bad thumbnail or title. We can always change the thumbnail or title or both to see if it has a substantial impact on CTR. A common way YouTubers do this is by something called A/B testing. A simple way to do this is, if your CTR is bad, you can change the video title or thumbnail and then compare it to the previous one in terms of what the numbers say. Obviously, you have to approach an experiment like this with science, because you have to account for impressions, but you can do this an unlimited number of times to get your CTR up as high as possible. Watch time is the more interesting metric, because not only is it more important to the success of a video, but it's harder to understand whether you're doing something correct or not. Analyzing the audience retention curve for your videos gives you personalized secrets on what you should do more of and what you should do less of, especially as your views increase, because there's going to be more data to analyze. So the graphs will become more reliable. In this curve here, there's clearly something going on at these spikes that are causing people to pay attention, most likely by rewinding the video or their timestamps in the comments that people are clicking. As a YouTuber, it's up to me to figure out which of the 2 is happening here. I have to analyze these anomalies because they'll give me insight to make better videos. YouTube has made this easy to do because they'll tell you about spikes or drop-offs, and it's important to spend time analyzing why they happen. For example, Sniper Wolf found out that many of her audience leave in between clips of her reaction videos, so now she does a straight jump to the next clip to not give them a chance to leave. This type of insight resulted in much more retention during her videos, and the results speak for themselves. Now you're probably thinking, okay, cool, so how do I actually get a video to be promoted by the algorithm? The best way is to sub-niche. This means that if you're interested in a big niche, that's fine, but making videos competing with other established channels won't work out well for a small channel. Instead, focus on reducing the reach of your content. It's better to get 1,000 views in a small sub-niche than 0 views in a huge niche, at least in the beginning. For example, let's say you want to make a gaming channel. Lots of competition here, obviously. Let's narrow it down. Call of Duty. Still way too big. Technical issues in Call of Duty. This is getting better. In a game like Call of Duty, internet speed matters a lot because it's about fast reaction time. So ping plays a major role. So how about a video on how to reduce ping? If we search that up, we can see that the video that's ranked number 1 here is by a small channel. Look at this. A 2,000 sub channel got 200,000 views on a video, which means it's a video that got promoted by the algorithm. This is a proper example of sub-niching correctly. Doing this means you won't have to compete with the big leaders in that niche, and you can get instant traction. Because remember, these big YouTubers wouldn't make a video like this. You can, fight fish that are your size. YouTube will be happy that a viewer got what they were searching for, and you're now a helpful part of the algorithm because you're satisfying the viewers. This can be done for any genre. Just keep sub-niching until you build traction. Now you might say, but I'm not trying to be a tutorial channel teaching Call of Duty players how to get low ping. I'm trying to make some sick montages. And I'd say, cool, but you're being delusional. Making generic Call of Duty videos will get you nowhere as a new creator because the chances that they'll be better than the big channels are extremely slim. And even if they are better, the big creators will suffocate your videos because they'll fail to get that initial momentum since viewers will click on the more established channels that they already know. But make no mistake about it, this advice isn't to lock you into being part of that small sub-niche forever. It's only to get the initial momentum going. Once you do this and establish a core following, you can do the opposite, where you start slowly expanding the reach of your content, essentially increasing the size of this circle. I want to end this video by saying that the algorithm is always changing. In my videos, I always mention the history of the algorithm and how it prioritized different things at different times. We won't know details like this until it's in the past, so there's no point obsessing over the algorithm and how to game it. What you should obsess over instead is making your viewers satisfied with your content, because that's what the algorithm is trying to achieve. YouTube, at this point, has gotten to a really good place with achieving that goal, and so I think it will only get better from here. By making the viewers happy, you're guaranteed to make the algorithm happy. This is why I don't focus my videos on little gimmicky advice like, make sure you post once a day for the algorithm. That doesn't matter. You can post once a year, and if the videos are really good, the viewers are going to watch and love them, and the algorithm will promote it. Just look at JCS Criminal Psychology. At the time of this recording, they barely post videos, but when they do, people love the videos, and the algorithm ends up promoting them like crazy. That's why I focus my videos on studying actual real scenarios. There's much more to learn about the psychology of viewers on YouTube from learning about real success stories than anything else. By knowing how people reached success on YouTube, we can implement similar strategies in our own channels. Don't try taking any shortcuts to YouTube success. Take the long route. Embrace the long route, because anything that rises fast also falls fast. Slow growth is good if there's a proper long-term vision for your YouTube channel. So remember, your video's not doing well is not the algorithm's fault. It's your fault. Realize that so you can fix it. Now, this video sponsor, the like button. Just click it.